This is the new and improved damage system. The paint peeling is actually baked in the texture. I wanted to clarify that because some people thought it's a dynamic effect. Unfortunately, it's not. In my last devlog, I bragged about the damage system I had implemented, and you seem to really like it. So why would I spend so much time redoing it, and what's the difference? Well, the old system used morph targets to deform different parts of the vehicle, and while it wasn't very accurate, I was satisfied with the result. After all, this is supposed to be a low-poly retro style game. So the impact inaccuracy wasn't the problem. The real issue was that morph targets don't update the complex collision, or at least I couldn't figure out how to make it work. This means that bullet hole decals would be either broken or I'd have to get rid of them completely, and these seem like two terrible options. Luckily, Unreal Engine supports procedural meshes. On the left is a plain old static mesh, and on the right is a procedural mesh. They look the same, except I can modify the procedural mesh any way I want in the editor and at runtime. Just look at these vertex colors.
Wow!
Wow, indeed! So the procedural mesh component fixes the collision issues. Sort of. While it updates the complex collision to match the new shape of the vehicle, it breaks the collision UVs. So I made a function that calculates the correct collision UVs on the fly. The next advantage of using a procedural mesh is that I can update a simple collision at runtime. This helps to sell the effect that the shape of the vehicle has been deformed and that it's not just a visual trick. I use these 3D widgets to create a simple collision mesh. This needs to be done only once for each vehicle and for one side only, so even though it looks tedious, it's actually not that bad. The cool thing about this is that these vertices will be used to update the collision mesh, so I don't have to manually figure out what the new shape should look like after an impact. Unfortunately, because of the way convex collision works, I have to use two different collision meshes. And finally, the last reason why procedural meshes rock is that I can update vertex colors at runtime. You can't do that with static or skeletal meshes, which is a shame because that would open up so many possibilities. The old system also used vertex colors to reveal the damaged areas, but the painting had to be done in the editor and it couldn't be modified at runtime. The new system makes it more satisfying to crash the car, even if it makes the game feel and look less retro. It's been more than 3 months since my last devlog, so what else have I been up to? Well, I updated this van. Some of you might remember it from a while ago. I changed the model a bit and completely retextured it. It's ready for a stress test. I added bullet damage support, different parts of the car will react differently. Improved the tire marks and then broke them. That's why there aren't any in this video. I'm still looking for the best way of doing them. And I updated the car lights. By the way, some of these clips are from my Discord server. I post smaller updates more often there, so join if you're a fan of this project.